Oh my God.
All right, let's do this. Welcome everybody to Community Cooking with the Co-op. My name is Paul Addis, and I'm a reference librarian at the Coos Bay Public Library. And with me tonight is my coworker Joshua Whitty and Jamar Ruff from the Co-op, and Alan Bartle, our cameraman. And if you guys want to find out about more programs like this, you can go to coosbaylibrary.org and look at our events calendar for both in-person and Zoom events happening regularly at the library. Hey, Alan. And Joshua has a quick something to say before we turn it over to Jamar.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. So y'all like cooking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you curious about what kind of food you can make from a country like Indonesia? Yeah. So you can actually find out the library on our website. If you go to the research and learn section of our website, you can go to a website called A to Z World Food, where you can locate recipes from around the world. You can search by culture, you can search by ingredients, and like what'd you say?
Country too.
Country, yeah. And you can find amazing food that you can make at home. I will be periodically attaching some links inside the chat. So if you're curious, go ahead and follow those links and find a recipe rabbit hole. Just so you know, you probably need your library card because it's through the library website. All right. Enjoy the cooking, everybody.
Thanks, Joshua. And one thing, sorry, Jamar, I forgot to mention, feel free to put questions in chat or respectfully unmute. If you put them in chat, we'll feed them to Jamar. But it's pretty casual for those who haven't been here. You know, feel free to just jump right in with questions. Go ahead, Jamar.
I did not realize how many like food gestures we make. Like, I'll feed them to Jamar and food rabbit hole. That was really cool. So welcome to Community Cooking. My name is Jamar. I'm the outreach and marketing manager here at Coos Food Co-op. And today we are. Well, I've been celebrating Juneteenth all month long. It actually is on June 19th. And so what I wanted to do is do a special edition, a Juneteenth edition with how to make a very simple meal, but it be really delicious. And so growing up, I love what my grandmother used to make. Well, if you don't know, I'm originally from Georgia. I'm from South Georgia, and my hometown is called Roberta, Georgia. It is a 2 red light town. And I grew up in a house with my grandmother, and she would always make, I used to love when she would make these things like flapjack, like almost like pancakes for dinner, but she would make them with beans and collard greens and things like that. So we're gonna be making hoe cakes today. And then also, I love when she makes beans. Like, I can eat beans and cornbread. That's it. And so, in the spirit of Juneteenth, I looked at what was traditional around the Juneteenth festival, and then what was traditional with some of the things that I grew up eating when I was in South Georgia. So, and then we got rice. Rice is always the centralized dish, but we're gonna kind of spice it up a little bit today. So first, let's start with our beans. So it is a simple recipe, but there's multiple different components. So the first thing we'll start doing is working with our bean mixture, and then we'll go over to the rice. And once we have those things cooking, then we'll start moving into our hoe cakes, because we want the beans and the rice to be close to being done. So that way, when you make the hoe cakes, they're hot. You know, you want to make those when they're hot and serve them when they're hot, and they're so delicious. But okay, so the recipe calls for pinto beans and cannellini beans, and then it also calls for 1 onion and garlic, 4 to 5 cloves. You know, if you know me, you know I'm gonna put way more than that in there. But so before we put anything in our beans in our pot, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build up the flavor, basically. So we're gonna start with processing our onions, chopping our onions, we're gonna do maybe a rough chop for onions. And then we'll do garlic, because if you put garlic in a hot pan, the garlic will cook so quickly that it'll burn, and then your flavor is ruined, basically. So we're gonna do olive oil, onions, garlic and let those saute a little bit. We'll add some salt and pepper and some cumin in there. And then we will go in with our beans on top. But we want to make sure that our onions cook, and we're only going to use half of the onions because we're going to use the other half in our rice. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And yeah.
So Jamar, Kathy was wondering if they should be draining their beans.
Yes, you can totally drain your beans. And you saw that we call for Jack's quality organic beans. If you notice, they are cheaper than the beans in the cans on the shelf. So we were being mindful. So you would notice that you had a little bit more spending money on your voucher. So it probably would have came up to be like $18 to $20. Well, maybe like $17, depending on the size of your bell pepper and things like that. But it's an all organic meal.
Awesome. And she also wanted to know if they need to start preheating the oven.
So no ovens. Everything is on top of the stove. The hoe cakes is gonna be in my favorite skillet. So you got 2 pots and a skillet. So everything will be. This is the first time we haven't used our oven. I know.
Mhm.
I know. And this is the first time where I didn't prep anything ahead of time. I'm gonna be chopping along with you. So if you have questions or anything, we're gonna be saying avocado. That does not mean that the recipe has avocados in it. That it just means that that is a signal for you to see how I'm chopping and us to change camera views, okay?
Cool.
Avocado. The inside joke. So what I have now, you'll see I got my pan right here that I'm gonna be using. And before I put my onions in, I'm gonna do maybe a half a teaspoon of olive oil. And then I have my scrap bowl because I like to make veggie stock. Who here makes their own veggie stock?
Linda, you're muted. I know you have a comment though.
I was having trouble getting on a bigger screen, so I'm on my phone. And yes, I do make my own vegetable stock, and I have everything set up for the class.
Awesome. Good job.
Perfect.
So
Rice is made, everything's ready.
Okay, awesome. So what we're doing is we're starting with our beans first. So what we're gonna do is in the pot, we have olive oil and we're gonna do a rough chop of onions. And then and you're gonna do half of the onion because the other half is gonna go for the rice. And then we're gonna do olive oil, onions, garlic, 4 to 5 or 8 cloves of garlic. And then once you get there, we'll start bringing in some more components.
Okay.
All right.
Olive oil.
I haven't cooked all week, so this is pretty exciting. And I'm just, watch your fingers. There's no rush.
Please.
Okay.
Don't want any community cooking casualties.
Right. And then I'll have to stop the show, bring my first aid kit, show up where you're at, all of those things, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle some olive oil in my pot.
Cool.
That wasn't a drizzle, it was more like a
Pour.
It was a pour. So I have half of my onion. I'm gonna sit over there to the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and start sauteing my onions.
How high do you have your burner there, Jamar?
Well, I have it on a medium heat because you don't want stuff cooking so fast, but you do want to start sauteing.
Okay.
My favorite spoon. Everyone in their kitchen has their favorite spoon, their favorite pot, their favorite knife.
Definitely.
So now I have my onion sauteing. I'm gonna start moving on to my garlic. And then I'm gonna bring my scrap bowl over here. So what I kind of do is you can cut the bottom, but if you just put your palm in the middle of the onion, it just breaks it all up. It breaks it all up.
Oh, the garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. And then I'll show you from above how I actually do it. This was the first year where I did not grow garlic in my garden. It's like I'm such a go big or go home type of person. And it's like I looked up and I have a micro garden at that. And why did I plant 72 bulbs of garlic? It's like, who does that? So luckily I pulled them out in enough time and gave them away. Okay, so with your onions, what I like to do, like in order to break them apart, I just turn my knife to the side. You want an avocado?
Yeah.
Okay, I turn my knife to the side like this, and I just like press it a little bit and it breaks open.
Smash it.
Same thing here. And I just fill them. Want to see one? I can be so heavy-handed, so I got to make sure I'm not smashing them.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Just enough to break it open.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, this garlic is pretty like it's an easy peel. That always makes everyone's life
That's what's
easier.
nice.
Mm-hmm. But then, like, you have like your hands smell like garlic for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna move my onions around. They're sauteing.
When I was young, working in a restaurant, it was a French restaurant, so we used to have to chop up a thing of garlic like this big,
I believe
like
it.
chopped.
Oh my gosh. I worked in a barbecue restaurant where we used to have to like peel potatoes and we made everything from scratch. So we didn't have any freezers on site. It was all fridges. And I used to bake pies and all of those things and do like the catering orders. And the waitresses would always sell like a whole pie. And I would like come in and be like, where's the pie? Okay.
Hey, Don and Gladys, I removed your last name because of the way we're recording. We can't take out names, so I've just taken people's last names out. Are you guys cooking along? Or just watching?
I think they're just watching.
Okay, cool.
Hi, my friend. Okay, so the recipe called for 4 to 5 garlic. I did manage to go to maybe 9. And what we're gonna do is the same process with the onions. We're gonna do a rough chop.
Cool.
But we do want like garlic to be all throughout it, all throughout our beans.
And Jamar is cooking for more people than most of you.
Even if I wasn't, that would still be the same.
Still go heavy on the garlic.
Always heavy on the garlic.
Heavy-handed.
Garlic and onions frying up in the same pot, right?
Yeah, yes. That's
Okay.
not where we're gonna put our onions.
Thanks, Linda.
Does
Good question.
anyone have any questions so far? And I'm just rolling my knife and kind
Everybody
of
looks busy cooking along.
passing.
I'm cooking along here.
Okay.
You go, girl.
I've been looking forward to this.
I want to chopping.
Oh, we.
Okay, so my onions are sauteing. I'm about to throw my garlic on
Maybe chop a little bit.
So I'm just chopping them, and I keep bringing it back. So I started with a rough chop, and then I just wanted everything to kind of be a little even.
Cool.
I have all of that. So now it's going into my pan, into my pot.
Your eyes watering yet?
Mine, you know what? That happens to so many people, but I've never been affected by it. Oh, okay.
If I cut enough onions, it'll do the trick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let those saute a little bit, let them hang out. One thing about that, your onions should already be kind of a little glossy, like translucent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little sprinkle of pepper, a little sprinkle of salt.
A little more.
Oh, you saw me. I forget that I'm on, so I did like.
No, Alan makes it so we see everything.
Thank you, Alan. And then the recipe calls for half a tablespoon of cumin. So a half a tablespoon, if you don't like spice, start little and then build it up. You know, you can always add that in. You can always add it in at the end. You don't have to start with so much if you do not like spice. Same thing like salt. If a recipe calls for amount of salt, everybody's salt, taste of salt is a lot different. And so what I may consider salty, you may consider just right. So what it is when you're cooking for folks or cooking for yourself, start small as far as your seasonings, and then you can always add. And the whole thing is that gets you in the habit of starting to taste your food while you're cooking versus just cooking and tasting it once it's all done.
Hey, Jamar, Kathy said she has cumin seed and cumin powder. She said, do I use ground?
Oh, use ground, yeah.
Good question. Right.
Hey. That's gonna wake it up a little bit.
No, Jamie, he hasn't used any parsley yet. Jamie is wondering if you'd used parsley yet.
Oh, no, not yet.
So can you do an overhead shot of your pot so I could see it?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Okay, mine looks like that. Good, good. I'm on the
Perfect.
right track.
So right now in my pan, I have garlic, onions, cumin, salt, pepper, and I'm gonna add my beans and then I'll add the parsley.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
So gonna add my beans.
All right.
And you see why we kind of like start with the onions first?
Yep.
Okay, now with the dry parsley, what we're gonna do is it calls for 1 tablespoon. So a tablespoon of dry parsley. That was way more than a tablespoon, by the way. So in my pot, this is how my beans look, and I'm gonna add some water to it.
Oh, your video went off. Wait, one more time.
I got it.
I'm changing. There we go.
That's Linda. Hold on.
Okay, so I have my beans, my
Hold
onions.
on. I got to mute Linda. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
So
show
now
us.
I have my beans, my onions, my garlic, my parsley. I always say it's mine because it's mine. But that's all I have in my pot. And it looks so amazing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, we're gonna add some water to it. Now the recipe calls for 3 cups of water. We're gonna simmer this, and this is gonna be cooking while we have our rice cooking. And then so it'll take might be like 20 minutes
Okay.
to actually get there, and we'll put a thickening in there as well. So I have 3 cups of, and you can always use veggie stock as well.
How much water are they adding?
3 cups.
3 cups. Thank you.
So I'm gonna move this over.
How's it starting to smell in there, Alan?
It smells pretty good. I can smell the onions and the garlic.
Nice.
I'm liking.
Alan, get out of the pot.
Yeah.
That was my grandmother's cardinal rule, is like, get out of the pot. You know, but today what I've noticed is that, you know, you want young folks to be engaged and to learn how to cook. So whenever you do have your kids or your young people around, little people, young people around, and they show an interest in learning how to cook, let them learn, you know. I was like the prep person. My grandmother would like have me chop in her collard greens or turnips. And I didn't really like that because it would be like on a Saturday afternoon where she was cooking for church and I had to do a whole bunch of bunches. And I'm like, I totally want to play. I don't want to do this.
Oh, when you mentioned other cooks, Jamar, you remind me, I wanted to do a quick shout out to Jeremy, our assistant chef from last month. He's getting all his teeth pulled today. So send him positive vibes and healing thoughts Jeremy's way today.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have to send him a card.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave him a little gift from the library for helping us out the last time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He got a cooler bag and some swag from the library.
Mm-hmm. About that.
If it's power went out. There we go.
Yeah, our power went out.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
our power went out earlier and everybody thought it was Alan. I'm like, it's like, you're the only person setting up something. You must have done it.
Poor Alan.
Yeah.
Mary wanted to know cover beans or uncovered.
You can put it in a simmer.
No, she's
'Cause I-
asking if she should cover the beans.
Put lid on it. Or
Oh, you don't have to.
Okay, good question, Mary.
And I have it on a medium heat.
Okay.
You just want the beans to get and you already have, they're already pre-cooked, so that makes life a lot easier, especially on a Thursday where you're just getting off from work, and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to soak my beans.
Awesome. Jamie said she used her library cooler bag to bring smoked tuna to Alaska for a work meeting. So using the swag. Love it.
Oh,
Nice.
smoked, smoked, yeah.
Mm.
I'm like, there's like salmon sisters that are out of Alaska, and they're supposed to have really good salmon. But we have really good salmon here as well. Okay, so now we're gonna look at our rice. So we're gonna kind of do the same thing. So we have the other side of our onion. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make it not so rough, but make it like a fine chop, like a dice chop. And then we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil in our pan. Then we'll throw some onions over in it, and then we'll add the rice. But we won't add water yet, okay?
All right.
And make sure you're taking your time with the knife.
That sounds a little dull.
Oh, it probably is.
Yeah.
I don't know. They use it a lot.
Mhm.
But me and this knife has history. It's like I used to make the
A
sauce.
good history.
Yeah, I used to make sauces when I worked in produce, and from there, this knife have traveled with me to the deli kitchen.
How many of these cooking tools did you bring from home versus what you're using at the co-op?
Oh, so the only thing I brought from home that is now a permanent fixture is
Oh, the skillet.
frying pan.
Yeah.
You can make anything in a cast iron. I've made lasagna, I've made cookies, I've made, you name it.
You keep that in your truck, right?
Yeah, I actually have a shelf. I have a shelf here at the co-op.
Nice.
They let me have a shelf and a box, a box. Okay, so. All right, now the onions.
Yeah, I love a good cast iron pan.
I do too. I do too.
I have 3.
I have a ton.
Yeah, small,
And then
medium, large.
I have the small ones that you can make like personal things of like personal pies or personal mac and cheeses and.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. You got the serious.
I got inventory.
So you're starting with a little oil?
Yes, I'm starting with a little olive oil. I won't say a drizzle because that's not what I just did. But you can start with, hey, how you doing? You can start with a half a
Yeah, I
teaspoon.
hear your name on the radio all the time.
Hey, this is the community cooking with the co-op. So we have our olive oil in there. We're gonna add our onions. Gonna give them a little saute.
And again, I want to give props to Jamar for cooking in the co-op while it's open.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
Really?
I gotta be by myself in my zone when I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, no. No.
It's all part of the show.
Totally.
And, you know, I do this thing where I speak to everyone. So if you are, and most people know when I'm cooking, so they'll like stop in after the show and be like, hey, what you doing? And I'm like, okay, come on, I got you a plate. I'm adding a little salt and pepper, and then I'll add a little bit more parsley.
Linda asked, same pot. This is for the rice, not the bean pot.
So Linda, if you're doing, your beans should be in a different pot. This is specifically for your rice. And I'm gonna stir my beans.
All right. How are all our cooks doing?
How's everybody doing?
Wait, can you clarify parsley is going in the rice as well? Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thanks.
Good
Hey,
question.
Okay, so I got my rice. And what I do is you can rinse your rice. I also toast my rice before I add water to it. So usually, sometimes you will like see folks that boil their water, have the water boiling, and then they'll add the rice. And so what I do is I start building a base, which is the onions. And sometimes I'll do like tomatoes, like we've done that before. Same thing with quinoa and things. I always make a base and then I'll add my rice over into it to toast the rice, and then I will add my water. And so I'm using 2 cups of rice, which means I'm gonna use 4 cups of water.
Okay.
So it's a 1 to 2 ratio.
Okay.
So if I use 1 cup of rice, I'm gonna use 2 cups of water. Then if I use 2 cups of rice, I'm gonna use 4. Yes.
Just double your water.
Yes, just double the water.
Okay, a trick one. What about 1.5 cups of rice?
I'm totally not about to answer that on camera. You know, I can't say no. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the rice toast in there, and I'm gonna stir everything up. And then I'll add the water, and then we'll move into the cakes.
What do you have going there? Like a medium heat or low?
Yeah, I have a medium.
Okay.
Have a medium, I'm toasting it. How's everybody doing? Okay, I see thumbs up. So this past weekend, it was really awesome. So me and Chef Jordan, he was a special guest for Christmas. We teamed up this past weekend, and we made Nancy Green's original pancake recipe. So Nancy Green today is the Aunt Jemima recipe, but it's not the same recipe. So what we used was it was 4 types of flour. So we used whole wheat, rice flour, corn flour, and rye flour. Yes. And we used like vanilla, and the wheat, we were like, we're gonna make 50 pancakes. That's what we were aiming for, 50 pancakes. I think we made over 100 pancakes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They sound like hearty pancakes.
Oh my gosh. They were so delicious.
Nice.
And we made hibiscus tea.
Ooh.
We made hibiscus tea using the hibiscus tea that we have here at the co-op, but it was really amazing.
Jamie must have been there because she said so good.
Oh yes. So if you're smelling your rice, I put salt, pepper, onions, a little parsley. If you smell your rice, it's really divine, by the way. And so I'm toasting. I may add a little bit more parsley to it.
Nice, Linda.
I love parsley, by the way. I love parsley, but I love dry parsley. And I love it as a garnish. Okay. So I think my rice is good. What we're gonna do is, so I'm gonna add 4 cups of water.
All right.
And here's the lid. Yes. So for this one, you're gonna need a lid because what the goal is, you want it to start boiling, but you're gonna see a ring, like a big circle. Once you see the big circle of like bubbles going off,
Mhm.
then that's when you know that it's time to put your lid on there.
Okay. Did you turn the heat up to get it boiling?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you're gonna reduce the heat. So if you have like I put it on medium, but if you are cooking on a number aisle, you can put like just 5.
Okay.
After it starts boiling. So once it boils, once you see the ring of bubbles, then you're gonna reduce the heat, put your lid on, set your timer for 20 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna move mine over here because
You put it in the microwave.
No, he's got a stove over there.
well, my beans are looking good. So beans, rice, and then we're gonna do hoe cakes. And this is gonna be a delicious, delicious meal.
My mouth's already watering.
So I have not put my lid on there yet. I always move. So this is a 2 top burner, but I always move it to the actual stove.
Mhm.
And once I start putting, I'm gonna let y'all know when my timer goes off. Not when my timer goes off, but when I put my lid on there. So if we're doing this together, then I'll keep time for everyone.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but on low heat. No.
I think he does.
Mhm.
Now I'll come over.
Oh yeah, you can come over. So my beans are going. That's how my beans look.
Cool.
Pretty delicious.
You keep it the beans
Nice.
in.
So you see all of that work that we did at the beginning, it always pays off. So you see, and how my rice looks, you'll see like it's starting to look like a big circle, and the parsley and oil is in the middle. Once it
Yep.
starts bubbling, we'll be ready to lid.
Cool.
How's everybody else doing?
Let's see. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Good. Excellent.
Oh,
Think we're doing good, Jamar.
I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. No.
Now I'm gonna have to listen to something after this to get that out of my head.
Hey, just listen to the whole song.
No. I've heard it enough.
You got a song.
And I'm cleaning while I'm cooking. Do your wipe down and in between of switching tasks. Okay, so I think mine, okay, it's boiling. Okay, I'm gonna reduce my heat.
All right.
I'm gonna put my lid on. And then I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. So
20 minutes, sounds good.
With me. Okay, cool. So that gives us, so right now our beans are cooking, our rice is cooking. That gives us enough time to build our hoe cakes. And the goal is always to finish everything on time. How many of us, when we first started cooking, was nothing finished on time? Okay.
I can't say that's changed much though.
Oh my gosh. My mom used to be like, you're cooking all day. I'm like, well, because I'm cooking. So I did not know what I should be doing first, and getting organized and looking at what's going to take the longer time, what's going to do this, what can just boil and just be by itself. So that's how I learned today. So now everything gets done at the right time. So, okay, what do I want to do first?
Tell us.
So what we're gonna do is do our cornbread mixture first. So how many of us did the stone ground cornbread mix? Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Most folks.
We like
Okay. And I know that Stacy, I know that you did it. We ran out of cornbread mix, which is really great. I'm glad that it's June, we're celebrating Juneteenth and we ran out of cornbread. That's really good. But do you know how to make it from scratch in your kitchen?
Yes.
Okay,
I think she's got it.
okay. And this time we're not doing buttermilk. We're just going to be using water. But sometimes when I like to use buttermilk sometimes. And what I do is if I don't necessarily like the co-op normally doesn't carry buttermilk. So we make ours from scratch, and that's just a cup of buttermilk. Like you'll use a cup of heavy whipping cream or a cup of cream, and just do a tablespoon of lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Tablespoon of lemon juice, and then everybody should have that in their back pocket, okay? But that way, you know, if you're ever like, oh, I want to make buttermilk, I want to use buttermilk and don't necessarily have the ingredients. You can always, okay, so we got 17 minutes. Now, the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of cornbread mix.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 1 cup here. And I never really followed the recipe, so.
Good for you.
Okay. And then it calls for 2.5 cups of water.
Okay.
So I always,
That's
and
good.
then I have my whisk.
Mm. You're not gonna put buttermilk in this time. Easy, easy.
So it shows, it looks like. Now, the cool thing about it, this cornbread mix is that it already has the rising agents in it. So if you feel like you need to add a little bit more, you can. If it looks a little bit too watery, you can just add a little bit more.
Mhm.
There we go. All right, and then it calls for 2 eggs. So what I'm gonna do is I have 2 organic eggs. And crack very easy because you don't want to be trying to fish out eggshell.
Right.
No.
Oh, okay, I got 2 egg yolks in that one.
Oh, it's like wondering what happened. Oh.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Okay, now that was a surprise. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So now I am whipping.
Think you got twins there.
We never made twin chickens and eggs, maybe 2 yolks. I think it would have, it was fertilized.
Isn't that pretty cool? I've never, sometimes at home I'll get 2, but that was pretty, that means tonight is a really special night.
Oh,
Of course it is.
It's community cooking with the co-op.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have 15 minutes
Okay.
Rice.
and then I'm gonna do,
Bubbling.
my rice is going, right?
Yeah,
I may cut it down.
it's bubbling over a little.
I'll cut it down. Okay, so it calls for a 1/2 cup of oil. Good. And I can totally slow down. So how's everybody doing?
Everybody looks to be cooking right along.
And you know, whenever I'm making my cornbread like at home, what I like to do is if I'm making it in the oven, if I'm using a cast iron pan, I always put my oil in my cast iron pan first, pop it in the oven, and then I let it sit in there for maybe like 10 minutes. And I'll pull it out and I'll always add hot oil to my cornbread mix. I
Interesting.
don't know what that does, but that's how I was shown how to make cornbread.
more oil to it.
Whatever works, right?
Right. Okay.
Well, it can be-
So now that that is mixed, we're gonna look at adding our garlic granules to this, which we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of garlic granules and then 1/2 tablespoon of dried parsley. And then once we mix those in there, what we'll do is we'll chop up our red onions, our, not red onions, but our bell pepper.
Okay.
That's what has the bell pepper.
And then I got my frying pan on top of the cooktop. Oh, we're doing really great on time.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
I looked at my clock and it still says 5:30. No,
Oh,
just kidding. Just kidding.
We changed the batteries. don't
Right,
worry,
we can. Oh, what class was that? That was very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, Rico. What?
Here we go.
bye, Rico.
Bye, Paul. Bye, everybody. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
all right. So I got my bell peppers, and what I'm gonna do is I need to just do a quick wipe down of my face. Okay. So now I'm gonna cut my bell peppers. So how is everybody with their mix? Cause I feel like I was moving very quick.
Everybody's mix good?
Cornbread mix.
I think we're doing good.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna move to the bell pepper.
All
So
right.
I cut my bell pepper in half. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dice my bell pepper. I want it to be like, I want the size of my chops to be consistent. So that way there's bell pepper all throughout the fritter.
Nice.
Someone asked a question in chat.
Yeah, they want to know what the mix looks like.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So this is what my mix looks like. Oh, sorry.
Right there.
I don't
Perfect.
know if you can see the,
Mhm.
so it has some body to it. It's moving around, and you can see the parsley all throughout, which is a lovely, which makes it look really, really delicious. Can you see?
Nice. Thank you.
And now I'm going to chop my bell peppers, and I'm making them individual. I don't know why I'm cutting like this, but I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay. Just cut them like this.
Yes, so what I'm doing is now I have them like this, and the goal is to do like a dice. So if you're not really comfortable with how small you can get them, start with a little bit.
So pretty thin.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, like it's the same, I'm doing the same, same slice.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw how when we chop the garlic, so if you gotta chop them one size and then you feel like, okay, you know what, they can be a little smaller, you can do another chop.
Cool. This is gonna be some cornbread, I tell you.
Mouth's watering.
Likewise.
Well, you know, don't put recipes in a box. So like with cornbread, you can always use like cream corn and whole corn.
Mhm.
That's really delicious. You can always put jalapenos in cornbread as well.
Oh,
Definitely.
that's really good.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
I grew up eating cornbread from scratch at my grandmother's house, but my mom always loved Jiffy. Always loved Jiffy. So and I'm going back through and just like how I did the garlic, and because every fritter that I do, I really want folks to be able to get bell pepper in that. So now I'm gonna add it over into my mix. I'll show you.
Cool.
And I'm gonna mix it in. I'm just gonna chop a little bit more. So the rice got 8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay.
We got 15 minutes in our cooking class, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling, okay?
Awesome. I love this. You're keeping them busy in their kitchens, Jamar.
Am I?
Oh yeah, everybody's busy chopping along, I would say this time.
Okay. So. And what I'm gonna do is in my pan, I spilled salt. Gotta throw it over the shoulder. Okay. So now let me clean up my mess, put things in my veggie stock. I won't put that in veggie stock because I can always use a little bit more of that.
There we go.
I'm gonna add a little bit more.
Garnish.
That was not a garnish, that was a splash. Okay.
I mean the bell pepper later.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So now I have it all mixed up. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start looking at, so I got my frying pan here. It's heating up. I'm gonna add maybe a tablespoon of olive oil.
Okay.
That wasn't a tablespoon, but a tablespoon of olive oil. And what I wanna do is I wanna make sure my oil is hot before I put it into my pan. You know, because if the oil is hot, it makes it a little bit easier when you're about to go and flip your fritter.
Oh, okay.
That's just like fried chicken. If you're frying chicken, if you put the fried chicken in cold oil, and the oil isn't hot enough, all your batter's gonna fall off your chicken.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
It'll soak up all the oil too.
Right.
I haven't made fried chicken in a really long time.
I want fried chicken.
Now you want fried chicken?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not happening. I can make a vegetarian fried
That's
chicken.
sure.
So my beans are looking good. My rice is looking good. It got 6 minutes. And what I'm gonna start doing is go ahead and adding my fritters over. So I'm gonna start small
Okay.
with my fritters. And I'm gonna try to get two in one thing.
All right.
And how you know that they're ready to flip is that you're gonna every time they get a little close, I'm like, stop, don't join, stop it, and okay, they stopped. Cool. It's like, but if that pan wasn't hot, they would not have stopped like that. And what you want, once you start seeing whole bubbles throughout the fritter, then it's time to flip them.
Okay.
And have your pan on medium heat. And don't worry, your first fritter may not come out looking good. What it is it's gonna be tasting real good.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's like the first pancake. You know, the first pancake. Once you get your rhythm, you'll find it. And then on the side, I have a plate with some paper towel on it, just for drainage.
Soak up some of the oil.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You saw that one though?
Yeah.
I still got it. So, but once it flips, and the goal is to make sure that it's done in the middle. So I always, whenever I flip them, I always flip them again just to make sure that they're good.
Cooked evenly.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice work, Linda.
Great job, great job.
It does seem very similar to making pancakes at this point.
So that's my beans. And
Mhm.
what we're gonna do is, once we get enough hoe cakes made, we're gonna make a little thickener, for our beans. And our rice got 3.
We're gonna make a little what, Jamar?
We're gonna make a little thickener, just to pour over into our beans, just so they can be a little bit thicker. Okay. Well, they smell delicious.
I bet.
Yeah.
Alan just got really excited.
I'll eat that one that was the messy one.
Oh, sure you will.
Alan said he'll take all the ugly ones.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
And so the cool thing, they're just like tortillas. Once you get in a rhythm and you toast some tortillas, you just keep going.
All right.
And if you feel like you need to add a little bit more oil to your pan, you just add a little bit more.
Nice.
And if you want them a little thinner, instead of a little thicker, that way they cook a little bit. When you put them in the pan, just spread it out a little bit.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Got so quiet, we're all mesmerized.
Oh, yeah. How's everybody doing in their kitchen?
Everybody's looking busy.
Okay. So now while y'all are doing that, so the goal is now you're multitasking. So you got 2 pots going. You got your rice, you have your beans, and now you're flipping hoe cakes. Amazing. What we're gonna do is, if you can get like a bowl or a cup, or reuse your measuring cup, just put maybe, let's do like a 1/4 of water. 1/4 cup of water.
You just pour that on oil?
Well, I reused my I reused my measuring cup, so my measuring cup had oil in it.
Oh, but they just need to use water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Water.
Yeah, you can still use water. And what I'm gonna do is do like a tablespoon of flour.
This is for the beans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna do tablespoon.
It's kind of like a roux.
Well, it's a thickening, and if you don't want to use flour, there's other thickening agents out there, like cornstarch. And I'm gonna mix it up. And I always mix it in a bowl outside of just putting flour in the pot, because you're never gonna crush up the flour
Right.
that's in it.
Yeah.
So I always do it in a separate bowl, measuring cup.
Avoid a bunch of clumps.
I'm gonna keep working it. Okay, my timer just went off, so that means my rice is ready. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it off the heat and just let it hang out.
Probably needs to sit for a little while, right?
Yeah, you can let it stand for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And, well, did I spill it? Absolutely. Okay, so once my flour and water mixture is whipped up, I'm gonna add it to my beans.
All right. Linda said the fritters are yummy.
So I'm gonna add it to my beans. And this is just a thickening agent.
Uh-huh.
You'll see it start thickening.
Yeah, I can see that.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my rice pot, put that over there, let that time for like 10 minutes. That give us some time to make more hoe cakes. Okay. I'm gonna flip mine.
Need more time for that.
Mhm.
And if folks want to cook along to this later, I should have the video up on the library's YouTube channel by tomorrow or Saturday.
How's everybody doing? Have y'all sampled y'all first hoe cakes?
You know Linda has.
Okay.
You've eaten 4? Stop giving you a hard time. You're muted, Linda. Or hold up 4 fingers. She's not gonna have any left for her rice and beans.
And you'll start smelling at the bell peppers from being inside.
You can smell the peppers?
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Alan must be dying back there.
It's a good thing I had a snack.
Yeah, I bet.
Here.
Looking so good.
Oh man, tell me about it.
Want to try one?
Oh, when we're done.
Okay. Okay.
No.
It's like, I don't want to eat on camera. Add a little bit more oil to mine. We just rocking and rolling. Okay. Let me
Awesome.
check my beans. Big. Oh, yes. Okay. Big.
Nice job, Linda. Very cool.
And do know that we want photos. So if you're cooking along,
Yes, you should all have my email address in your Zoom confirmation. If you could email me photos of your plated dishes, we'd appreciate it very much. We like to share your work.
yes, we do. Okay. How's everybody doing?
Looking pretty good.
Okay. I see,
Good thumbs.
Dana, you're eating something.
Probably a hoe cake.
I thought you're eating something. Are you eating anything?
I thought I saw a hoe cake back there.
Eating away, it's really good.
Awesome. He's like, what hoe cake?
He's like, I don't know what that is.
No, nothing?
What, you want to try it now?
No. I'm seeing if I should bring the camera in.
Oh, you can. I mean, I have.
Oh, wait till this starts bubbling on the
Okay.
inside.
Okay. Oh, so you can see me like flip. I hope I can stand up to the challenge. Have anybody tasted their beans? Does it need anything? Does it need a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, a little bit more cumin?
I think people are tasting. Looks like Kathy's typing something. Oh, Kathy wants to see what your beans look like, Jamar.
Okay.
All right. Coming up.
I was just gonna ask how your beans were doing.
This is how my beans look.
Little thicker, right?
Mhm.
Nice. Mm-mm.
It's like, I was like, mm-mm.
Heck yeah.
And you know, if you're tasting them, if you feel like you need a little bit more, let's make that happen. Oh, wow. Wow, Jamar.
Oh, Linda's already plated.
Huh?
Linda's already plated.
Oh,
Oh,
I did a horrible,
they could.
it's the pressure.
It's a pressure.
It's the pressure.
Could probably cook a little longer. Or?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what it is I lost some power over here.
Oh.
So it's okay. I'm cooking up pie.
Okay.
Nothing can stop a good cornbread cake, okay?
Okay. Sweet.
Well, it's just, it's just the,
Yeah. It likes to
mhm.
fluctuate.
Oh, wait. Show us again. Oh, it looks great. Send me a pic, please. Thank you. Yum. Good job.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Now it's cooking.
Eric asked if we added cumin. Didn't we add that to the?
Yes, we added cumin to our beans. And cool thing about it, Eric, it's not too late.
Yep.
So if you did not add cumin to it, add some to that.
How much does Eric need to add
Oh, the recipe calls for a half tablespoon.
in each pot?
No, just in the beans.
Just to the beans. Okay.
Yeah, just in the beans.
Mary said her beans are good, but need a kick, a little hot sauce or something.
Okay, throw some hot sauce in it. You can add a little bit more cumin.
Yep.
Throw jalapeno in it.
Sriracha.
No problem, Eric. Good
Mm.
question.
No, that was great.
Mm.
Cool thing about a hoe cake is that every hoe cake is made equally.
They're each unique.
Oh, they are each unique, okay?
So now if you wanted to like put some fresh crab meat in that or something, would that be?
Oh, you
would that be a
totally
good thing?
could. Yes, you could totally put some fresh crab meat in it.
Ah, okay. There you go. Because
So-
Tracy said, thanks, it's yummy. I will eat, but my corn cakes are ugly. No picture. All right.
Really?
As long as you enjoy them.
Yeah, and like the pancakes. I remember when I made
Have a
like
good night, Stacy.
I made chickpea fritters one time when I was like doing the cooking class on the floor of the co-op.
Uh-huh.
And someone came in and we were making, and it was like I had a chef come and wanted to like try the chickpea fritter, and it was the ugliest one, but I was like, I guarantee you that's gonna be the best tasting fritter ever. So
Mary said no on the crab.
no on the crab,
No,
zucchini.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, because I'll be standing here making cupcakes all day, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and start plating. So I'm gonna bring my dishes over here. And I have a good amount.
Nice.
Let's do that. I put this right here. And then what I'll do is I'll bring my rice over. That rice smells so good.
I am so glad I can't smell what's going on in that kitchen.
I'm bringing Ray and Chester some food, so if you want me to drop something off to you, I will totally.
I might have to take a taste of that.
Really? Okay. So my rice is nice and fluffy, and I'm going from the bottom and flipping up, but it's so nice and fluffy.
Wow, that looks yummy.
Oh, and it smells good. Do you smell that?
yeah, yeah.
You're like, that's right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Nice.
So plating. I'm gonna use a bowl to plate. And what I do is I turn the bowl on the side. So I hold it like this because I want my beans to go on one side and my rice to go on one side. I'll start out with the rice first. I want my rice to go on one side and then my beans to go on the other side. So I'll show you what I mean. So
The art of plating.
we'll put rice, and what I'm doing is start doing it like that. Oh, it's so fluffy.
Nice.
And what we'll do with our beans is add the beans over here.
So, oh man.
And so I want to make sure that it's picture ready. So I fill some over here. Because the goal is you want you have people visiting you, right? You want them to be full before they even eat their food. Okay, so I'm a little over time, but that is all right. How's everybody doing? Okay, so on my hoe cakes,
Good.
because they're massive, they can be massive. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them in half,
Mm-hmm.
cut them in half, and then you can put them on the side. And I'll show you how I'm doing it. And then put that right there. Let me flip these. I redeemed myself.
Yeah.
Almost. Almost. Okay.
That's all right.
So now I have some leftover
Yum.
garnish with parsley, and I have like a bell pepper.
Could you just sprinkle a little parsley on there?
Mhm. No. Well, I gotta have 3. So
Thanks, Katie. Have a good night.
I'm using some of my my bell pepper to kind of create a. So what we have here,
Wow, that looks awesome.
you may want to. Would you like to use that camera just to come in a little bit closer to it?
Okay, hold on, I gotta switch.
Okay, 1 second. So I can show them then.
We can do the panorama. Wow.
Wow, man.
So I have my beans. I use my bell pepper as a garnish on the side, and then my whole cakes, I just slice them in half and split them on the side.
That looks amazing.
So you kind of get a little bit of everything.
I need you to take a picture as well, Jamar.
Okay,
I
we'll do.
figured you would, but just in case.
Oh, and I will drop you some off, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But make sure to get plenty to Chester and Ray. I just want to taste.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Chester does not eat, so
Right.
he'll only want a little bit.
Eric, did you have a question? Oh yeah, thanks, Eric.
I'm
Have a
gonna.
good night. Enjoy.
Hey, thank you all. How does everybody's look?
Getting lots of thank yous. Must be looking good.
Needing it for hide in the background.
Oh, okay.
Those are just.
Nice work, Kathy. Send me a pic. Appreciate it. Linda. There she goes with her emojis. Nice. Big applause from Linda.
And I'm gonna continue making whole cakes. Yeah.
Nice. And feel all right. See you, Linda. Take care.
Hi, Linda.
Yeah, feel free to go eat if your food's ready, y'all. We don't want those amazing meals getting cold. Right. See you, Don. See you, Glass. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Get it?
If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to unmute or throw it in chat. I don't think everybody's Linda. Oh, thought she was trying to say something.
Now this is awesome.
I don't know if you were saying something, Linda, but you're muted right now. Kathy said, taste delicious. Thanks. Thanks, Kathy. Glad you enjoy it. Oh, somehow I jumped up in the chat to old questions.
Oh, do you want your rice and beans to be together, or do you want it on the separate?
Whatever you think's best.
Oh my God.
It's probably fine
Oh my
together. It's just
gosh.
gonna marinate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make that rice taste good.
Soak up all the flavor.
Thanks, Jamar.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for finally saying yes.
Oh, yeah.
You like how I just do that in there?
You tell him, Jamar.
That's right. I deserve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gonna keep going. Tomorrow is Friday.
Yes, it is.
And do know if y'all ever have any leftover books at the library, just let me know. We'll put it in our little free library.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. We could probably dig some up for you.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you want like cooking food related ones or just anything?
Either or.
Okay.
We also like kids books as well.
Cool.
Hi,
I'll
Paul.
what was that?
Hello, Paul. Hello, this is Susan.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
Susan.
Susan.
I ate that the first fritter that came off, and I was so glad that he said it's like the first pancake. It never turns out right because mine never do. And it was so good. I ate both of them.
Nice.
It's so good. I've been struggling to keep up with it, but I got it all done and I'm ready to eat. But I'm still cooking fritters because they're so good.
Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, Susan. Enjoy.
You're very welcome. I finally found the button that said I could talk. Take care.
Good job. You too, Susan. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Susan.
Oh my gosh, you gotta send me that. Okay. You're awesome.
All right.
Oh, Patricia, you doing good, bud? I know they both came in a little late, so I don't know if they're catching up or just watching. I know Bud often comes in a little late and catches up.
Just watching, Paul. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Bud.
But glad you were here